A popular trend in film photography at the moment is using polaroid backs on large format cameras like this one and medium format cameras like this for instant, high quality, tangible photos. Now the issue for me is just that the instant film that is most commonly used in instant film backs, Fuji FP100C, is no longer made and it's extremely expensive if you want to buy some new old stock. So what I'm going to do in this video is try out an alternative idea which I've come up with, which is instead of putting instant Polaroid style film in the camera, just putting photographic paper in the camera. And this is just the type of photographic paper that you'd normally use with an enlarger, and it's really not too different from film, it's just much less sensitive to light. Now there are a couple of problems with this idea, which I'll get into later, but for now I'll just go through the process of loading a camera with photographic paper. Okay, so we're in darkness now, apart from the safe light, and what I'm going to do now is just to cut this piece of 8x10 photo paper into little pieces that will fit into my Mamiya 7. And the size we're looking for these pieces is about 6x7 centimeters. And you can see there I'm using an old piece of 120 backing paper for a guide. So I've now got a small pile of these little pieces of photo paper that are the right size, and now we can get on to loading one of these pieces of paper into the Mamiya 7. And I've got the light on now just to make things a bit clearer, but obviously when I do it for real it will have to be in darkness. So opening the camera up, I just take one of my pieces of paper, lay it down in the space where the film would normally be, making sure the emulsion side is facing down, and just secure it with a couple of small pieces of masking tape. And the final step now is just to load the camera with an old roll of backing paper. And you won't have to do this with most cameras, it's just with the Mamiya 7, it's the action of the film being pulled across that cocks the shutter. Okay, so the camera's now loaded and I'm ready to take a picture. So I'm at the river here to take the first picture, and I've got the camera set up on a tripod, as you can see. And if you're interested, that's just what the view through the finder of the Mamiya 7 looks like, and you can see how the frame lines move as I focus. And I've got my light meter here set to an ISO of just 5, which I've read is roughly the correct sensitivity for this paper. And taking a measurement, it seems to want a shutter speed of about 1/4 of a second at f5.6. And so with the shutter speed and aperture set, I can make the exposure. So I've now reloaded the camera with a fresh piece of paper, and I'm set up here for the second test pick, so a portrait this time, and measuring the light again. It seems to want around 2 seconds at f5.6, so I set the aperture shutter speed on the camera and make the exposure. So, having taken a few test pics, we are now ready to develop them. And this is one of the slight drawbacks compared to instant film that I was talking about earlier, and that's just that you need liquid chemicals and darkness to produce the image. But once the paper is actually in the developer, we do get an almost instant image, so this process is much faster than the process of getting an image out of regular film. So I have here in these 4 trays developer, stop bath, fixer, and just water for rinsing. Okay, so we're in darkness now, apart from the safe light, and we're zoomed into the developer tray. And so the first test photo goes into the developer. And you can see just slowly the image starts to appear on the paper, and you can just about see that it's that same river scene from earlier. But unfortunately you can see the image going completely black, and that just means that I've unfortunately completely messed up the exposure. I think I just metered the scene slightly wrong. So I think I'll just have to go to the river again and try a second time, so not a great start. So I'll just have to move on to trying to develop the second photo I took, so the portrait. And hopefully we'll get a better result. And as you can see, it seems to be working. We are getting an image. So you can't tell, but I'm just speeding up the footage slightly here. Full development takes a couple of minutes. And so after 2 minutes in the developer, the paper goes into the stop bath for just a second, and after that it's no longer light sensitive, and then finally into the fixer for a few minutes, and then I can rinse it off in the water. So it looks like the image has turned out very well, but obviously it is a negative image, and that is the second drawback of using this type of photo paper. Direct positive paper does exist, I don't have any at the moment though, and it is slightly more expensive. But converting the image to a positive is very quick, and I'll show you how to do that now. So I've now got my two negative images developed. The image on the left is just a test self-portrait I took off screen. So to turn these images into positives, first I bring in a sheet of glass, and I take the image straight out of the water and stick it straight on the glass. And to make sure it's perfectly flat and there are no air bubbles, I just come in with this roller and roll it a few times. And after this it's really quite firmly stuck to the glass. Okay, so we're now in darkness again with just the safe light. And the next step is to bring out a fresh sheet of this normal photo paper. I then wet it in the water and just stick it straight onto the negative, making sure the emulsion side is face down. I then come in with the roller again just to make sure it's well stuck without air bubbles, that kind of thing. I then flip the glass over, so you can imagine now that the layers are a layer of glass, then our negative photo facing downwards, then a layer of fresh photo paper with the emulsion facing upwards. And I've got my hand on the switch of my desk lamp, and I'll just turn it on for a flash, and that should be done. So we're zoomed in on the developer again, and I'll just slide in that piece of photo paper that was fresh a second ago. So with that flash of light, the negative image should have transferred to our fresh piece of photo paper and become a positive. And as you can see, a positive image is starting to appear on the paper. And yet again, I'm just speeding up the footage through the couple of minutes the development takes. And as you can see, we now have a pretty nicely exposed positive image. So it's the same process as before, out of the developer after 2 minutes, into the stop bath for a second, then into the fixer for a few minutes. And after the stop bath, it's no longer light sensitive. So that's the final image, not too bad. It is quite contrasty, but yeah, an interesting effect. But I think I can improve on it, so I'm going to go out again and take some more test pics. So I'm back at the river again, just to retake that first picture that didn't come out. And I am making sure to meter correctly this time. So it looks like it wants a 30th of a second at f5.6. And again, setting the shutter speed and aperture on the camera, I can make the exposure. Okay, so back in the darkroom, I'm starting by developing the image we just took. And waiting a few seconds, you can see that an image does actually start to appear, which means that the exposure was correct this time, which is very nice to see. And there's just one more picture to develop now. And this is another self-portrait I took off screen. And yet again, it seems like the exposure was right. And yeah, not a bad looking negative. And there are the two negatives. So yes, again quite contrasty, but I think that's just the nature of the paper. But despite the high contrast, you can see that there's still definitely a lot of detail. So we should be able to make some nice positives. So speeding up the process now, if you remember, I bring out the glass, I stick the wet negative onto the glass using the roller. I then bring out a fresh piece of paper, dip it into the water and roll it onto the negative. Quick exposure with the desk lamp, and then into the developer. And looks like a good exposure. So finally the same process with the image of the river. And again, looks like a decent exposure. And so these are the results of all the tests we've done. So I'm laying out the final positive photos along the top with their negatives on the bottom. And looking at the quality of the photos, I think they're really not too bad. Obviously not quite as good as the results you'd get from proper Polaroid film in a Polaroid back. But I do think that if you want to get some image out of your film camera in less than 5 minutes, say. This is really the cheapest process there is. I think each of these photos probably costs just a few pence. I think the real weak spot in this process at the moment actually is the process of making the positive from the negative. So if you look at the negatives along the bottom and compare them with the positives on top, you can see that quite a lot of detail and quality has been lost. So I'll try to think of ways to kind of refine this whole process in future. But for now, just to see the full quality of the negatives, I'm just going to quickly bring out my old flatbed scanner and do a quick scan of each of the negatives. And just scanning this first one, you can see that the quality is quite good. And then I just invert and mirror in Photoshop. And here are the results. And so yes, I think the photos definitely look better scanned. And yeah, I know they're not all great photos, but there are a couple of interesting pics here, I think. So yeah, first this river one. I know it's very dark and very contrasty, but at the same time it has kind of a murky atmosphere, which is quite nice. And it's the same for this self-portrait. It has the same kind of dark atmosphere. And looking a bit closer, you can see it's really quite a sharp, high-quality image. So yes, I think I'll definitely keep using this technique and trying to refine it a bit more. But that's about it for now. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe and see you next time.